Well, even though the focus of my campaign, the main focus is to eliminate the deficit, people are also rightfully concerned about the state of our economy, the high rate of unemployment. I believe the deficit problem and boosting the economy are closely related. I think that the biggest thing we can do, Congress and the government can do to boost the economy, is broad-based tax reform, and in particular, lowering the corporate tax rate, which is now, top corporate tax rate is 35%. This is not internationally competitive with other countries, and so this means that multinational corporations have an incentive to take their plants, their factories overseas, where they will pay a lower tax rate. So if we cut the highest corporate tax rate, then that will give an incentive to do more work in the United States, employ more American people. What I really support is embedding that or making that part of broad-based tax reform, where we cut all tax rates or actually move them to the center. The wage rate, which is 35%, the top wage rate, and then the investment tax rate, 15%. Let's move those to the center, close loopholes and deductions, eliminate deductions, and end up with a very, the lowest possible overall tax rate, unified tax rate. It doesn't necessarily mean a completely flat tax. There could be 2 or 3 different rates based on size and income and so on and so forth. But nevertheless, make them much closer together and lower by eliminating deductions and loopholes. So that would, again, and especially the corporate rate, lowering it would give our economy a big boost. Another thing we can do to boost the economy is to remove or soften the impact of regulations especially on small business and entrepreneurs, because that's where most new jobs are created by entrepreneurs starting new businesses and small business and so on. So the Dodd-Frank financial regulations, the Sarbanes-Oxley regulations from a few years ago on accounting practices for companies, we need to make sure they are not overly demanding and onerous for small business, and that would help a lot as well. Another thing that we can do to boost employment is to provide excellent, outstanding job training for high-skilled jobs. In fact, the Labor Department has recently announced that there are 3 million high-skilled jobs that are unfilled because there aren't enough qualified in the country, because there aren't enough qualified applicants. So, in other words, provide focused job training for high-skilled jobs where there aren't enough people. And a good way to do this is working with community colleges. And in fact, the Obama administration has just proposed this, and so that's good. I mean, in other words, that's a good idea. One other thing that will be very helpful to the economy, our national debt is now $15 trillion. It's way too large. It's getting larger. It's growing very rapidly. It's unsustainable. It has to be stopped. It has to be gotten under control. But the main way we're going to boost the economy is unleashing our private sector, and especially with technology and new technology and computer technology. This is going to give our economy a huge boost. We need to get the government spending under control so that we don't have excessive debt. But if we can do this and unleash the private sector and get out of the way and let let new technology lead the way, this will give a huge boost to our economy and employment. Boosting the economy and eliminating the deficit are closely related, and by eliminating the deficit, we will give the economy a big boost.